Again, welcome back to Java Programming Language course. This is Unit 2, lecture number 2. Our main objective is to learn how to use identifiers to name variables, constants, methods, and classes. Also, how to use variables to store data in Java, and how to perform arithmetic operations in Java programming language. An identifier is a sequence of characters that consists of letters, digits, underscores, and $sign. So for example, to name a variable, we can only use uppercase or lowercase letters, digits, and underscores or $sign. Those are the only two symbols we can use. And also we cannot start with a digit. So an identifier must start with a letter, an underscore, or the $sign. We cannot start with a digit. Also, we cannot use the Java reserved word such as class, public, everything lowercase. It's a keyword. We can't use it as identifier name. So what is a variable? In programming language, a variable is a memory location where we can store data. So for example, here we can declare variable name radius, and then we assign value to it. But before we do that, we need to declare the variable. So declaring a variable means we have to specify the data type of the variable. The data type tells us what kind of data we can store in that variable. So for example, radius, we assign 1.0, which means we can only store decimal values in radius. So the data type can be either float or double. A double have more decimal places than float. Example here, we have a variable area equal to radius times 3.1459. So again, the variable radius, we can see that it can have only characters, digits, uppercase and lowercase, and only underscore and $sign. So how do we declare variable? As we said, we always start with the data type. So int x, which means this variable can only have whole numbers. Int or integer means a whole number. And the variable name is x. Here we have double radius, which means this variable name radius, we can store only decimal values. Double means a decimal value. Int or integer means a whole number. Then we have another variable name a. The data type is char, which is a character. So this variable can take only one single character at a time. And the character have to be in a single quote. Now in programming language or Java, a character can be a single digit. It can also be a single symbol. As far as it's in a single quotation, it's a character. And so how do we assign values to a variable? We use the assignment operator. Assignment operator is the equal sign. So here we assign 1 to a variable named x. Now, if I want to check if the value in x is equal to 1, I will use 2 equal sign. So in Java, 2 equal sign means equality to check equal. But 1 equal sign means assignment operator. So this means I'm assigning 1.0 to a variable named radius. Or I'm assigning uppercase character A to a variable named A. Now, next we can declare and also initialize a variable in one step. So in our previous slides, we declare the variable separately and then we assign value to it. So I can say int x, then I'll say s equal to 1. But we can do all one step. So here we declare variable name x, the data type is int, and we assign 1 to it. Or we declare variable name d, the data type is double, and we assign a decimal value 1.4 to it. Also, we have what we call the name constant. A name constant is a variable that the value of the variable does not change. Now, when we declare a regular variable, we don't need to initialize it. You can initialize it if you want to. Most of the time, we don't have to. But when you declare variable as a constant variable, you have to initialize it. And that's the reason why we declare it constant. So for example, here we have a variable named pi or par. The data type is double. To declare a constant variable, we use the keyword final. So we have the keyword final, then the data type of the variable, then the variable name, and you have to initialize it. So for example, if I have a program and I use the variable size 100 times in my program, if I want to change the value size 3 to 5, we don't need to go through all the 100 places that, again, I use that variable. I will just come only here, then change the value to 5. Then anywhere that I use the variable name size, the value will be 5. And this is one of the main reasons why we use a constant variables. Because if, for example, I'm calculating the salary or the commission for, let's say, car sales people, the car sales, we have over 100 employees and they earn their salary by commission. Their commission is 6% of the sales they make. Now, if I have 100 employees and now I'm changing the commission and I will increase or decrease the commission, I don't want to go through all the 100 employees calculations. So I may declare the commission as a constant variable so that I can change it and it will have changed everything. Now, naming convention, this is not an error, but it's just a convention. For example, if I have a variable named compute area, you can start with the word compute, lower cases. Then the next word, you start the character with uppercase. This is more readable. I mean, when I see the word compute area with uppercase A, starting the area, I will see that it's two words combined together. So this is the system we are going to use in this course. If you're naming the variables, not only variables, but classes or methods, and you are using two or more words, start with the lowercase. So use lowercase. Now, if the name consists of several words, join or concatenate all in one. Use lowercase for first word, and then you capitalize the first letter of each subsequent word in the name. So for example, variables radius is okay, only one word. Area is okay, but a method name compute area is two words. So I start with the word compute. Then the second word, I will start with uppercase area, then the rest will be lowercase. So a class name also, we always, by convention in this course, we are going to start a class name with a capital letter. So we capitalize the first letter of each word in the name. But for example, to name a variable, we start with lowercase. Also, if we are naming the constants, it's up to you. But in this course, we are going to use only uppercases. So for example, we have mass value as the variable name. If it's a regular variable, we are going to use the lowercase max, then uppercase v, then lowercase a-l-u-e together. But if it's constant, we use uppercase throughout. So now we use underscore between the two words. Again, this is just a convention that we're going to use. Now we have different data types. The data types of each variables depends on the size. So for example, if you have a variable byte, byte is only, the size of it is only 1 byte. And 1 byte represents 8 bits. A short also is 2 bytes, represents 16 bits. An int is 4 bytes, so it's 32 bits. A long is 64 bits, which means 8 bytes. Then, so from byte, short, int, long, there are whole numbers. They are whole numbers. Now, float and double are decimal numbers. Then float have a 32-bit and double have 64-bit. So double have more decimal places and values than float. Next, also, we can read numbers from the keyboard, as we said earlier in our previous lectures. But to do that, we need to use the scanner class. And also the scanner class is inside the Java package that we call the Java utility. So we always need to import the java.util package. Now, when you import the java.util package, then you can use the scanner class to create a scanner object. The scanner object can be any name as far as it follows the rules of naming identifiers using it. So here we name it input, everything lowercase is good, equal to new scanner system.in. System.in means we are going to use the keyboard to get our input. A scanner here is like a constructor. We may discuss in the future what is a constructor, and also the new normally dynamically allocated memory space for our object input. We may discuss that one more detail in the future when we cover object-oriented programming in Java. So after we create our input object, we can use the input object with the methods. Now, the method you use depends on the data type. So here we use nestInt method because the variable value is expecting int value. So we have examples here. For example, if the data type is byte, we use nestByte. If the data type is short, we use nestShort. If the data type is float, we can use nestFloat. The variable data type is double, we use nestDouble. So now here the value variable type is int. We include the scanner object input dot nestInt. This will allow us to use the keyboard to get our input into a variable name value. Also in Java, we can perform arithmetic operations as any programming language. So in Java, a plus is for addition. Example given here, 34 plus 1 is 35. We have subtraction. We have multiplication is the asterisk. So 300 times 30 will give me 9,000. And we also have division. Division is a /. So 1.0 divided by 2.0 will give me 0.5. Then we also have a remainder or modulus operator. A remainder normally will give you the remainder of two values when you divide. For example, if I divide 20 by 3, the answer will be 6. And 6 times 3 is 18, so remainder 2. So this means 20 modulus 3 or remainder 3, the answer will be 2. Because if I divide 20 by 3, the remainder will be 2. So these are the arithmetic operations we can perform. Now, for example, we have 5 divided by 2. Now, in Java, if we divide two integer values, and the answer is a decimal value, the decimal section will be removed. So 5 divided by 2, the answer will be 2. But 5.0 divided by 2, the answer will be 2.5. So if one of the values is a decimal value, or both of them are decimal, then you will get the decimal part. Also, as we said, 5 modulus 2 or remainder 2, the answer will be 1, because if I divide 5 by 2, the answer is 2, remainder 1. The percent is called the remainder operator or modulus operator. It only gives you the remainder of two values when you divide. So here again, we have the order of precedence is very important, same as arithmetic operations. For example, if I have 6 plus 10 modulus 7, the first thing we need to do is 6 plus 10. So 6 plus 10 will give me 16. 16 modulus 7 will give me 2. Why? Because if I divide 16 by 7, the answer will be 2, and the remainder will be 2, because 2 times 7 is 14. 14 from 16 is 2. So again, in Java, the arithmetic operation, the precedence here, that parenthesis first, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction is the same. Now let's see a program here to display a time. So here again, we are using the scanner class. So we have to import it. So we start with the import java.util.scanner. Utility package have a lot of classes, including the math class, which we will discuss in the future. So here we have our main class named display time. We have our main method. We create our scanner object name input. Again, the scanner object name can be any name as far as you follow the Java naming rules. So here now we ask the user enter an integer for seconds. So we use next int because we are entering an integer, the whole number. So we use the input object, that is the scanner object input.nextInt. We declare variable name seconds, data type is int also. So this statement will allow the user to enter again the input, any number of seconds you want to, a whole number. Then next we can find the minutes. So since we know that 60 seconds equal to 1 minute, if I divide the seconds by 60, that will give me how many minutes I have. Then sometimes we may have, let's say for example, if we enter 122 seconds, 122 seconds divided by 60 will give me 2 minutes, by remainder 2 seconds. The only way you can get the remainder value is to use the remainder operator. So when I say seconds divided by 60, if seconds is 120, it will give me 2. Then 120 modulo 60 will give me 0 because there's no any remainder. But if it's 125, 125 divided by 60 will give me 2. Then 125 modulo 60 will give me 5, the remainder 5. Then here we can write our result, system.out.println. The number of seconds we enter is the minutes that we get. So let's say we enter 126 seconds. 126 seconds is 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. So the goal of this program here again, we should learn how to use the scanner class. So first we create a scanner object. After we import the utility package. Then secondly, we use, depends on the data type of the variable. Now, if the data type is int, we use nextInt with the scanner object. If the data type is double, then we use nextDouble method with the scanner object. Then we get the input. So that will be the conclusion of these lectures. So in these lectures, again, we learn how to use Java arithmetic operators. We also learn how to use the scanner class to get input, and also how to name the rules that we have to use to name identifiers, such as variables, classes, methods, functions. Again, thank you for your time. See you in the next lectures.